So in this video, I'll be using this HMI display to make my own UPI payment collection interface with the help of SquareLine Studio and Arduino IDE. Let me show you a quick demo.
₹11 received.
So this is an ESP32 S3 based 5-inch HMI display from Electro, and this video will not only cover everything about this display, but also you can get a chance to win this display for absolutely free. So just watch out this video till the end and let's get started. Starting with the unboxing then, this is how you'll receive the product, and while opening I get the actual display first of all, then a Type-C cable and a 4-pin GRU connector in the box. And well, I got this display along with the acrylic casing in which we can easily fit our display and make it look more neat. Kind of a tablet you can say. And that was all about the complete unboxing. Now let me tell you the specification of this board. So this is a 5-inch TFT display with 800 by 480 pixels, and this comes with a smooth capacitive touch panel on it. This big screen is powered by ESP32 S3 room N4 R8 chipset, which is clocked at 240 MHz and has got built-in 4 MB of flash memory, 512 KB of SRAM and 8 MB of PSRAM in it. Now talking about the interfaces then, this board got 2 UART communication ports, 2 I2C ports, 2 GPIO ports, a micro SD card slot and an external speaker slot. And well, we can also power this with an external battery with the help of this connector. And that was all about the interface you get with this board. And now let me take you to my computer and show you the steps on how you can program this with the help of Arduino IDE. So now the first step is we need to install the ESP32 S3 boards packages, and for that you can go to Arduino preferences, and here you just need to paste out this link. After that you can go into the boards manager and here just type out ESP32 and just install the boards package. Here I'm using the version 2.0.6. After installing, you can just go to your board section, and here if you type out ESP32S3, you will be able to see the ESP32S3 development module. You need to select this for our display. Now second step is we need to install all the necessary libraries for the display, and for that you can go to this documentation page from Elcro, whose link I'll be attaching in the description, and here you can just click on Arduino libraries and LVGL widgets demo. Now this will start downloading a zip file that will contain all the necessary libraries for it. After downloading, just open up that zip file, and here you can go to the hardware version 2.0 into libraries, and here are all the libraries that you will need for making different projects on this display. So what you need to do is you need to just copy all the files excluding this UI 5.0. I'll let you know what to do with this, and you can just copy it and go to the documents, into Arduinos, into libraries, and just paste that out here. Now in case if you have some of the libraries already installed, you can just replace them with this libraries, because these are the particular version of the library supported for this display. Later, after installing the libraries, go back to that folder which you have just downloaded, and here just unzip this folder here. After that, this UI folder, you need to copy this, and you can again go to the documents, then Arduino, and then to libraries, and just paste that UI folder as it is here. And that was all about all the necessary files and libraries required for this display. And now we are good to go to upload our first sample sketch. So for showing the demo, I'm using this example code provided by the Elcro company itself, which is nothing but an LVGL demo code. So I already downloaded it and opened it in my Arduino IDE. And now let me show you what are the steps that you need to follow to make sure it successfully uploads the code into our Elcro display. So first, make sure you have selected the board as ESP32 S3 development board. Later go to tools, and here inside the tools make sure the partition scheme is selected as UJPP, the PSRAM is selected as OPI PSRAM, and the upload speed is selected as 115200. Now in the documentation, the upload speed shows as 921600, but in my case it was not getting successfully uploaded. When I selected this, it was successfully uploading. So I'll select this, and now you just need to select the right COM port on which this display is connected, and just straight away hit the upload button. and it's successfully uploaded. So in this code we get a screen 1 with a blue button, and when we press the blue button we get the screen 2 with a green button and also with a color slider. So this is a basic example code made using SquareLine Studio, but by this code we concluded that we are now able to successfully upload the code onto this display with the help of our Arduino IDE. And now let me take you to the SquareLine Studio and show you how you can make this kind of UI based thing, and I'll be teaching you by making my own UPI based payment collection interface. Let me show you. So first you have to go to the website called as squareline.io, which is for the SquareLine Studio software. Now this software will help you to design the user interface without writing any code for it. So you can just drag and drop all the elements, create a beautiful UI, and this software will generate the code file for that UI, which we can later use it in our Arduino IDE. So let's just download the software. First click on try it for free, and here just download the software for the OS that you are using. In my case, I already downloaded the software for Mac OS, so I'll quickly open that software. Now here you need to make an account, and after that just log into your account. Later just click on the create button, and here we'll go inside Arduino. In Arduino we have only one single option called as Arduino with TFT ESPI. Later you need to give this project a name, so I will just rename it as UPI demo. After that we need to provide the resolution of the display that we are using. In my case I'm using the 5-inch display with the resolution of 800 by 480 pixels. After that we'll select the color depth as 16-bit, and that's it. Just click on the create button. So this is the complete overview of the software, where we get the canvas in the center and all the widgets at the bottom left corner. So we have the image option, text option, button, and all those different widgets. On the right side we get all the settings for this particular canvas, like if you want to change the background color, if you want to add the background image, and so on and so forth. So slowly I'll go through everything that is required to make the UI for our UPI payment collection. Okay, so first step is I need to add the background image. So for that, what you need to do is you first need to click on the add file button, and here I already created this image on Photoshop. You can also use Canva for creating this image, but just make sure that the image should be of the same size as the resolution of your display, which in my case was 800 by 480 pixels. After confirming, just click on the open button, and this will add the image in the assets folder. It's not yet added to your screen. So now to add this image to your screen, what you need to do is you just need to click on the screen button, and later you can select this background image option and just check mark this box. And now you can select this image, and as you can see, this image is now added to the screen 1. And now the next step is I need to add a button here. So after clicking the button, I'll be able to see the QR code, and after scanning that QR code I can do the payment. So now let me show you how to add the button. For that, here you just need to click on the button and it will automatically appear on the screen. You can resize this button as the way you want, and not only resize it, but you can also change all its parameters. For example, here if I select this background and if I turn on the background color, as you can see I can change the color of the button as the way I want. Not only the single color, but I can also turn on the gradient, and I can change it to the horizontal or vertical. The vertical looks much better now. So that's how you can change all the parameters to tune this button as the way you want. Later I want to add the text to this button, kind of a label you can say. For that, what I'll do is I'll click on the label button, and it will be adding a text here. Now this text and the button both are separate as of now. So now to merge both of them, what we need to do is here we need to click and drag this label into this button, and now this text is linked with the button. That means if I move the button, as you can see, the text will move along with the button itself. So now let's just change this text. For that, I'll click on the label, and here I can change the text. So here I'll write as click to accept payments. Okay, now I can resize this text as well. For that, you can just click on this text option, and here are all the parameters for the text. I can change the color of the text. I can also change the font size by clicking here, and here I can select the bigger font size. It's much bigger. Let's just make it smaller. Okay, and I can also align it into center. Let's just make it a little bit small. And yeah, it's perfect. Click to accept the payments. So that is the button and the label widget that you can use for your screen. Now what we need to do is, as soon as this button is clicked, we want to switch to the next screen, in which we will have a QR code and whether the payment is received or not. So now let me show you how to add another screen into SquareLine Studio. For that, what you can do is you can just click on the screen option, and as you can see, the screen 2 appears here. Right now it is completely blank and we can modify it as we did for the screen 1. But now the question is how we can program this button to switch on to the screen 2 whenever it is pressed. For that, what you need to do is you just need to click on this button, and here we have an option called as add event. So I'll click on add event. Now you can change the name of the event if you want. I'll keep it as it is, and here you can select the trigger option, like what trigger point you want to select. So what I'll do is I want to trigger this button whenever it is released. Okay, and when the button is released, what you want to do, well, that you can choose from this action menu. So here I will select as change screen and click on the add button. Here I'll change the screen to screen 2, and here we can choose the animation, like by what kind of animation you want to change the screen. So I'll click on move top, and that's kind of switching action we have added to our button. And the great part of SquareLine Studio is we can visualize this in action. It's kind of a simulator already built in the software. Let me show you. So you can just click on the play button, and now it is in the simulation mode. So if I click on the button, as you can see, it has some little animation of moving upwards, and we are now onto the screen 2. So the button action is perfectly working. Now we are good to go to configure the screen 2. So I'll click on the screen 2, and on this screen I want to add that QR code. Okay, so again I want to add a background image. So what I'll do is I'll click on add file, and here I already created one template, again with the same size, 800 pixels by 480 pixels, with my own Razorpay QR code on it. So I will open it. It will be added to the assets folder, and later I can click on the screen 2, click on the background image, check mark this box, and I can select that image file, and now it is added to the screen 2. Now here I want to add some kind of widgets that will let me know that whether it is waiting for the payment or whether the payment is successfully received. For that, what I'll do is I will add a new widget called as spinner. So this spinner will let us know that it is waiting for the payment. So along with the spinner, what I'll do is I'll also add one text over it which will say awaiting payment. And let's just make the size of this label much bigger, a little bit more. 24 is good. So yeah, it says awaiting payment, and we have a spinner. That means it shows that it is waiting for the payment to be received. And once the payment is received, I want to do two things. First of all, I want to stop this spinner and display an image which says payment received. And here in the place of awaiting payment, I want to display the actual amount received. So first of all, let us add the image that we want to display as soon as the payment received. For that, I'll again add file, and I have downloaded one icon from Google which says payment received in red color. I'll open it up, and now to add another image, what you can do is you can click on this image widget, and here you can select the image that you want to display. In my case, it is payment received, and I will drag it to the center. I will resize it to, let's say, 150. And I think, yeah, this is pretty much good. Now the question is how we can program it to display only when the payment is received. Well, that kind of thing we can do only in the Arduino IDE coding. So once we get the code file from this SquareLine Studio, we can definitely modify it the way we want. So right now we are done with the SquareLine Studio, and let me show you the simulation for the very last time here. So I'll click on the play button, and as soon as I click to accept payments, I get a new screen which has the QR code which says awaiting payment, and as per the coding we can change it to display the amount received. So that was all about the SquareLine Studio and how you can easily create this kind of UI by just dragging and dropping all these things. And now the next step is how we can export this and import all those files into Arduino IDE. For that, we need to do two things. First, we need to go to file and click on project settings. Here in project settings, you need to configure three things. First of all, you need to select the project path. Now project path is nothing but the folder in which you want to store all your UI related files. So I'll storing it into the Elcrod display folder. Click on the open. Later you need to provide the UI file export. Means you need to have a folder in which you'll be exporting all the code files related to the user interface. So here I'll create a new folder called as UPI_UI core files. You can give whatever name you want. Click on the create button, and in this folder I want to save all the UI related files, and here you just need to type as lvgl.h. That's pretty much it. Click on the apply changes button and now just click on the export button and click on export UI file. And with this we have successfully exported all the UI related files, and to see that we can go to the folder where you exported all the files, which is here in my case, and these are all the UI files that we have designed. Now the next step is how we can use this file into our Arduino IDE. For that, what you need to do is you need to have an example code. Now here I took the help of the example code provided by this Elcro company only. So in this whole series of code I have chosen the lesson 6 code because this code is perfect to add our own UI files and test it out without doing any major changes. In this I'll be choosing the one with the 5-inch display. And this is the complete code file which I have already downloaded, and let me show you. So this is a complete code file in which we have one Arduino main code file and rest of all the files exported by the SquareLine Studio. So what you have to do is you just have to delete all the files except this gfx conf.h. Just delete all the files, and now you need to copy all the UI files exported by your project. So I'll copy this whole file and I'll go back to that code file and paste all those files here. It may seem confusing, but watch this video slowly. You just have to delete all the files provided in the example code except the gfx conf.h, and you need to copy all the UI files exported by your SquareLine Studio project, and you need to paste into the same folder. Please remember, all the files need to be in the same folder. And now we are good to go to open this example code. So yeah, this is the example code with our own made UI. So what I'll do, I won't be making any change at all, and let's just try to upload this exact same code and see what we are getting. So here I made all the configurations as I've shown before, and I'll straight away hit the upload button. So here as you can see, the code is successfully uploaded, and on the screen we get to see the UI that we have generated in the LVGL Studio. Let me show you the complete demo. So right now we are getting that page 1 of our coding which says click here to accept the payment. So what I can do is I can click on this button, and as you can see with the animation I get the second window or the second screen, you can say, on which I have the QR code and it says awaiting payment with the payment received, also with the slider in the background. The exact same thing that we have designed in LVGL Studio is reflected here into this display, and that's how you can easily create this amazing UI files without writing any code for it using LVGL or the SquareLine Studio, we can say. And now the question is how we can make it more usable, like how we can change this thing to display the image only when the payment is received, and how we can modify this to display the actual payment received. Well, that thing we need to modify in the Arduino code. So now let me show you that process. So here is the modified code to make this display work as a UPI payment collection perfectly. So now I'll only go through the important points about what things you need to modify to make it work. So first we'll go to this UI_screen2.c option, and here what we're gonna do first is we're gonna set the width and height of this received payment PNG file as 00. So what was happening is on the screen 2 we were getting the spinner and the payment received image both overlapped on each other, while what we want is initially we should only be able to see the spinner, and once the payment is received we want that image to be displayed and spinner to be disappeared. So for that what we did is initially we set the height and width of this payment received image as 0. So now initially there will only be the spinner displayed on the screen. So that was the initial settings or initial change that we did here. Later on all the changes are done in the loop part. So here in the main code we are using the audio library and the MQTT client library. Now here the audio is of course used to give the audio feedback about the payment received, and the MQTT client library is responsible for receiving the payment. Now here if you want to understand how we are receiving the payment via MQTT, well, you need to watch out the complete series of 3 episodes which covers the webhooks, Adapter MQTT and the Razorpay payment gateway, and that series will let you know everything about how you can receive the payment into an ESP32 boards via UPI payment. So we are moving ahead, and let's move on to the loop part where we are receiving the payment. So what happens after receiving the payment is we are storing the data into the receive payload variable, and then we are building a string called as to be printed, which is nothing but a string which says rupees and whatever the amount is received and then received. So if we send the rupees 11, so string will be like rupees 11 received. That's the complete string. Now what we are doing is, after we get the string, we are first of all printing that string into the label 2. Now you remember the awaiting payment on the screen too, well, that was the label 2, and we are changing that awaiting payment to this particular string whenever we receive the payment. After changing that string, what we are doing is we are making the spinner width and height 0, because now as the payment is received, we no longer need that spinner, rather we want to display that payment received image. So that's why we done the height and width of the spinner as 0, and we have resized the height and width of that payment received image according to 10 and 5. So with the help of this, we will be able to see that image now, and after that we are calling this audio connect to speech function, which will speak out the amount received. Later what happens is this will stay here for 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds we are changing the screen with the help of this function. So we are changing the screen to 1. So after payment is received, after 5 seconds the screen will automatically change. Later we are resetting the label again to awaiting payment, and we are also maximizing the spinner and minimizing the payment received image. So we are making everything back to normal. So that's how I modified this complete code to make my own UPI payment collection interface using this display from Elcro. So now let me show you this complete working project in action. So that's how we can visualize and also listen to the payment received, and with this we come to the end of this video. Well, actually the main motto of making this project is I am planning to make my own UPI based vending machine, and with this project it seems that I am very close to it, but still I'm lacking with one important thing, which is the QR code used in this project is a generic, or we can say a static QR code, in which the customer can pay any amount to it. While in the commercial vending machine there is a dynamic QR code, means a specific amount based QR code through which we do the payment and the product comes out. So I still need to figure out, or still need to study about how I can generate the dynamic QR code, which I'll soon be figured out. So if you want to see my own main vending machine in future, well, make sure you subscribe the channel right now. But anyways, I really like the concept of the SquareLine Studio, where we can design any UI that we want without writing any single line of code in it. Truly amazing. And do you want me to make more such content on SquareLine Studio, maybe a course kind of thing? Well, do share your suggestions down in the comments of the video. And yes, here we come to the end of the video and announcement of the giveaway contest. So I'm giving away this 5-inch display along with the acrylic casing to one of the lucky viewers. And to participate in this giveaway contest is really very simple. First of all, you need to like this video right now, because hey, come on, this is a really good project, isn't it? After that, you need to be a subscriber of our channel. So if you haven't subscribed our channel yet, well, make sure to subscribe it right now. And the last step is you need to comment down about what will you be making if you win this display. Share your unique ideas down in the comments of the video. And with the 3 simple steps, you are eligible for this giveaway contest. And after a week, on 16th of June, Sunday, 11 AM, on my Instagram account, I'll be announcing the giveaway winner. So make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. And yeah, that being said, and now I am just ending this video here, and now just wait for my next video. Until then, explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.